Good afternoon. Welcome to Sunday afternoon's little demonstration. I was having to play with the blinds at the last minute because it kept getting bright and then it kept getting dark. So I think I have them opened about, so a little bit of light comes in and doesn't completely wash me out. So hi Bev, I'm glad you could join. I think a week ago I saw your name pop up, and so it looked like you were trying to watch me last week, but I'm glad you're able to join me today. Let me go ahead and do a very quick introduction. My name is Barbara Ragsdale, and I do live in the San Antonio, Texas area, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So if you have never heard of Stampin' Up! Before, we are a paper crafting company. So whatever your crafting needs are, hi Landa, hi Darla, we have got you covered. We have a huge annual catalog that literally on March 24th, hi Jackie, the retiring list is gonna be coming out. So that's pretty exciting. So usually when there's a retiring list that comes out, that usually means that there's going to be a clearance rack update and a sale of some kind. And so that's always pretty exciting when we're privy to getting to know what the new stuff is that's going to be coming out. So of course that's just for demonstrators. So the catalog goes live May the 4th. So that's something to look forward to, but just know that in about a week and a half, I guess, we'll be issuing out the retiring list so that you can grab those goodies. There's a kitty cat back there, before they're gone. So, but back to Stampin' Up!, whatever your paper crafting needs are, we got you covered. Our main focus is color coordination. Hi, Pat. And you're gonna see today with the projects, kind of how when you put your colors together, how well they go. And everybody has a different style, and today I wanted to keep it kind of neutral with just a touch of color. So I'm going to be bringing back some paper that a lot of people were using in January and February for Valentine's. So, but thank you for joining me. I hope that you get some inspiration today. I hope you get some fresh ideas. Today I'm actually going to be showing you how to make, if you've heard this term before, a Z card. And I'm going to be doing a single Z and a double Z card. So I'm only doing two, so each one of them is going to take a little longer just to show you, because I'm going to cut the paper and everything to show you how to make your base. So, but let's see, everything else we'll have to look at when we get the camera pointed down. So let's go ahead and get started. I got a prize to give away and some specials to show you, and then we can go ahead and get started on our cards. So welcome, and let's get this pointed around and turned where we can see what's going on here. Make sure I can see some comments too. I also want to make sure my phone's not going to move on me. Okay, so here is the monthly special and the online ordering code for March. And if you don't want to bother with plugging in my website and plugging in that host code, if while you're watching today's demonstration you see some products that you like, definitely you can also scan in that QR code. And then that'll take you straight to my website, and then also plug in that host code for you, so you don't have to worry about plugging that in. Okay. All right, let's do a drawing from last week. And if you're wondering how you can get on the wheel every single week, whatever projects I do, I end up giving away. How cool is that? I'll do one, and then I'll make one, and then whatever I make, that's what I give away. And sometimes when there's multiples of what I've made, I will tend to split up the prizes. Okay, so before I forget, let me show you what the March online ordering kit is and how you can get it. So for March, it premieres the Snail Mail Suite. And let me just put these off here so you can see all these. If you order $25 or more directly off of my website, you're going to get a free kit in order to make all 4 of these cards. And this is how your kit will come. Everything is already die cut, embossed for you. There's your mini paper pumpkin box and everything that you need that goes with it. And then your other 3 card bases. And you can see everything's already backed for you. This card right here is actually this one. And this one requires absolutely no stamping whatsoever. And there's even some mushrooms on the front. There are some that are die cut, and then there's some like this little fella right here that you actually have to fussy cut. So, but he's in there. So anything that you need, except for stamping. So any stamps and inks, that's not included in it, but all the accessories are on there. Your ribbon, things are embossed, and so that's what your kit looks like when it comes to you. But that's for the month of March. And then the monthly class for this is also this next Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here in my crafting studio. So if you're interested in actually coming to the class and making these 3 cards and this box at the class, when you come to the class, it actually affords you to be able to use the stamps and the inks. But when you take it to go, you have to have all that. So, but if you're interested in coming to the class to make that, the registration deadline is tomorrow night. And you just go to my website, so you can go to this website, go to the events section, and on March 19th, you'll see an entry for the monthly online ordering special monthly class. That's where you'll RSVP. And you can still get it for free. If you order the $25 online, then you can attend the class for free and come use the products to make sure that you leave with completed items. Okay, so that's March. And then, hi Jessica. So let's give, if you weren't with us last week, this is what we made last week. We made this little pizza gift box using the Butterfly Brilliance collection. And when you open it, I'm going to explain that for those of you that didn't watch last week's video. But you've got this little accordion thing that pops out. And I had left this one, this originally on mine was attached to the inside, and you can certainly attach it to the inside, or if you want, you can also have the option of decorating the back if you want to decorate the back. And then if you do that, then you'll want to just cut that off. So I kind of left it open-ended for whoever wins this. And I know last week there were several of you that were already claiming dibs on it. I know I saw a few comments when I went back to get all the entries for this. But if you're wondering how you can get on the wheel to win the weekly prizes, all you have to do is like my video, comment. So for every comment, you get an entry. And then if you share my videos, you get 2 entries onto the wheel. And we've had a lot of people lately that have won the weekly prizes by their shares. So it really does work. You can win with your shares. So, and that also helps me and also helps spread the love so more people can join us on Sunday afternoons. So let's go ahead and see who the winner is. Hi, Terry. Thank you for sharing, Terry. I just mailed your goodie out yesterday. Denise Mendez. Congratulations, Denise. Yay. Okay. Well, there you have it. You've got this cute little box coming your way. And I can't tell if you're watching right now, but of course, Denise, you can do anything you want with this. You can put some pictures in there. You can stamp and die cut some little words of affirmation, encouragement, give it to somebody. So that's using the Butterfly Brilliance Suite, which, by the way, let me put this off to the side. But congratulations, Denise. That leads me into the next. Let me write this down so I don't forget. Okay, let me put that on there and get this out of the way. By the way, when I was talking to Terry just a moment ago, that reminded me a couple of more things. Right now, well, this is really anytime, but anytime you join my email list, you're going to get a free PDF tutorial, which I just refreshed a couple of weeks ago and is in line with what I'm doing today, the designer series paper that I'm doing today. And on that tutorial is actually 4 cards that are on there. And you can join my email list by scanning in that QR code as well. And then because we're updating our catalog mailers, anyone that is anyone basically, except for non-active demonstrators, because they're going to get a copy of their own catalog. But if you're a non-active demonstrator and you want to join my email list, you're going to get a free new annual catalog, and they'll be shipped out in the middle of April. Then they'll come directly from Stampin' Up. So if you want to get your hands on a new catalog and a free PDF tutorial, you can just join my email list. And if you're an active demonstrator, I have a different special gift for you. So Terry, I mailed yours yesterday. So thank you for joining. Thank you. And feel free to share this, pass this on to anybody else that might need a catalog. Okay, and then that also leads me to tell you about, I know I've done some things lately with the Butterfly Bouquet, or the Butterfly Brilliance Suite, and let me show you this month's sampler. And I hope you guys can see this without a glare. I'm pretty sure there's a glare. Let me move some things over. Getting a glare. Okay, I might have to show you like this. But this is the spring 2021 sampler class that I have available. Let me look at my little printout here. Let's see. The class is March 27th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. here at my studio. And then you can also get this to go as well, but it won't come in the frame. So if you want more details on how to RSVP for this class and attend here in the studio, just go to my website and then go to the events section and go look at the entry for March 27th. And that's where you can RSVP. And there is product that's included in with this class. And the cost is $28, and you can also earn it for free, by the way. But you're going to get a half a package of the Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper. You're going to get a half a package of the Natural Touch Designer Series paper, which is this kind of grain color here. You're going to get a full sheet of Stampin' Dimensionals, a full bottle of glue, a half a pack of basic pearls, and then some gingham ribbon in order to complete your sample. And then you're going to get all of the coordinating cardstock to go with it. But it also features the Pretty Perennials bundle as well. So that's kind of where I got happy from, and these other flowers that you see here. And then I just used the designer series paper from the Butterfly Bijou. So if you're interested in taking that class, go hop on and go RSVP. So I just wanted to show you guys that. Pretty, nice and springy, getting ready for some spring. Okay, and now I think we're ready to get started. Let's show you what we're doing today. So tell me, I'm going to bring this up just a little bit more and bring this out so I can still see some comments, but tell me who all has ever done or knows what a Z card is. If you know what a Z card is, let me know while I grab this. So while you're answering, I'm going to show you the paper that we're using today. I'm only using a couple of designs, but if you remember, we have the True Love Designer Series paper out of our January to June mini catalog, and it's black and white, which is awesome because that gives you the opportunity to color these flowers any color that you want. And our paper is double-sided, so you've got one side that has these gorgeous, some of them are very detailed images of all these flowers, and then the opposite side has coordinating designs, different kinds of designs. So you can kind of see one side and then see the other side. It's gorgeous. So we're going to be working with this paper again today because I have a lot of this and I really wanted to do a Z card for you. I don't think I've ever done a Z card for you, but yes, the paper is gorgeous. But I know y'all can see that, but doesn't that look like a Z? That's why they're called Z cards. Who knew? But when you look at them from the front, you know, they look like this. And then when you open it, it kind of opens like that. So this is the first card that we're going to be doing, is just this really simple Z card. And I'm going to have to bring my paper trimmer over because I need to show you how to cut your base. It's very important that you have your base down. And then there's two kinds of sizes that you can do based on what you want. If you want your card, well, just on your dimensions, how you want your dimensions to be. So let's go ahead and get started. I will tell you that I have already done almost everything. We're just doing some assembling, and what we're going to be using is for our greetings, we're going to be using Peaceful Moments. Lots of different greetings on there. I know I've used this before in the past. It's one of my favorites. And then we're going to be using the subtle embossing folder. And then I've also broke out the painted labels dies. And you'll see a couple of them that we're using. Actually, just one. We're just using one. Okay? So let's get started with, let me move some of this over. You're going to need a bone folder. I would highly suggest that you have a bone folder, or you can also use, if you don't have a bone folder and need something really hard in order to burnish your edges when I get to that point, you can also use the edges of your acrylic blocks. These work really well too. So, but definitely a bone folder. Okay, and then now we have our paper trimmer. I have to, sometimes I struggle with the little markings up here, so I kind of blew up two other pieces and put them on there so that I could actually know what I'm going to be cutting. And that's just an easy little tip for me when it comes to cutting an 1/8, 3/8, 5/8, 7/8. All right, so let me see. I got my regular card here. And this is basically just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Okay, now this particular one that I'm doing here, I'm going to show you the measurements for that one, how we did that one. And all we're doing is we're taking this 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I probably should extend my arm out. Let's do that. That arm out, okay? And then we're going to put our piece of paper in there at horizontally, and we're going to cut it at 5.5 inches. Okay, my score is kind of wonky down here. Okay, and so now we have this piece that's 8.5 by 5.5. Okay, and so now we're going to turn it sideways, and we are going to score it at 4 1/4, which is half of the width going horizontally. So now we have this fold right in the middle, and we're going to fold that. Now I'm going to show you how to do it with the trimmer, but I will tell you, you can also do it manually if you don't want to use your scorer, or if you're just, you know, if you don't want to mess it up and you really want an exact measurement, then definitely use your little scoring here on your paper trimmer. Okay, this lighter one is the one that you score with, and the darker one is the one you cut with. And I know there's some of you guys out there that have accidentally cut your paper when you intended to score it. So you want to be careful which one is coming up. If you're intending to score it, you definitely want to push that one away so that you make sure you use your scoring blade. Okay, so now we have a base that's basically a regular card base. Just regular card. You have the option of taking this piece and folding it back, but like I said, you kind of risk it, you know, kind of not happening like how it's supposed to. So what you want to do is take your, just this side, and we're going to score that in half. So half of, where is that? It's 2 1/8. Which is going to be this mark, the long mark between the 2 and the 2 1/4 mark. And I have to really struggle when I'm looking at this, because now my eyes are going cross-eyed. I don't know why, but I'm trying to get that right on the line, and then we can score it. Okay. And so now you have this piece right here, and I know I did it upside down, but I've got this piece here, and now the exact middle is scored, and all we're going to do is that piece over here, we're going to fold it back. Okay, let me push this away, and where's my bone folder? This is where you want to make sure you get good burnished edges on your score lines. So just take your bone folder and give it some pressure right on that fold. And you can also do the same thing on this piece as well, just to make sure you have a good, if you don't, it's going to pop up like a lot. Okay, so now you have your base of your Z card. Cool. And that is it. That is your Z card right there. And then from this point, all you have to do is just decorate it. Decorate it however you want to decorate it. I'm going to burnish that a little bit more so it sits a little more flat. Okay, so with this, what I'm doing is I've got some Sahara sand. I've got my Sahara sand pieces, and I'm going to use this designer series paper. So I'm going to put this on those parts right there. So let's get some adhesive on this. And these pieces of Sahara sand, because we want to leave a 1/4 inch, let me see if I can do this and talk at the same time, you guys. These pieces are, I wrote it down, but I've got a lot of numbers that I'm looking at off to the side. This piece of Sahara sand is 1 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/4. Okay, so that means this piece of designer series paper is going to be a 1/4 inch less all the way around, so that we could leave a little bit of this Sahara sand, and I will give you the measurement on that. So this piece of designer series paper is, get that on there, 1 5/8 inch by 5 inches. Okay, and then we're going to mount this. We're going to go ahead and get these pieces out of the way. And it's easy to do it when it's closed. That way you can see that basic black. I think all these colors look really, really well together. Kind of like a tone on tone. Oh, why am I? Sometimes, oops, there we go. I ripped my cardstock. You have to be careful with that. So when you start to feel it rip, you stop and then kind of rewind it a little bit. Okay, and then you can always use the next piece in order to help line that up. Okay, and on this piece right here, this one is a 5 1/4 piece by 4. So it's your standard base. And what we're going to be doing on that one is just stamping in the middle. And I'm stamping it in the middle so that when it's closed, this particular die cut just kind of covers that. And we're going to be using Memento ink. And what did that one say? Thinking of you with all my heart. Okay, so another part to this is sometimes when you are looking at your stamps, sometimes it's hard to line it up. You know, you think it's straight because you're looking at it like this, and then you go to stamp it and it's a little crooked. So all I do is when I'm putting this on my acrylic block, I kind of have to eyeball the top lines of where the most of the words are, and I line it up with the edge of my block. I know it can be hard because you're looking at this other part and it looks like you should be, you know, lining it up with the top, but you know, for me it's just easier to line it up with the line of words. So we're going to be inking this up with Memento ink, and you can press hard on your Memento ink pads because it's a linen pad. It's not the juicy kind like our regular stamp pads are. So when I do this, just give it a little pressure. For me, I was eyeballing the top of this acrylic with the top of my paper, and then you've got a really straight image there. Okay, and then we're just going to attach this. Oops, there we go again. That's going to stick. Okay, I'll try to be gentle when I do this. But let me get that off because that's going to drive me nuts. And then we're going to put this on here. Okay, really simple. This would even work really, really well with crumb cake too. Okay, now one of those designer series papers has large flowers on it. The back side was that design, and so what I did is I cut out one of the flowers, and I am using light and dark soft sea foam, light and dark soft sea foam, and then I'm using the light Just Jade, and then I'm also going to use the So Saffron Dark. Now for the flowers, I'm going to do the light one. I'm going to go ahead and color this right before your eyes here so you can see. And when you're using our blends, you want to make sure you have something that protects your surface down here. So all I'm doing is quickly coloring the flowers. And I'm using soft sea foam while I'm doing this. Soft sea foam is super light and gives it just enough color, but with these, if you continue to go over the same spot, it'll get darker. So you can always go back and fill in those little areas where you missed. Okay, so there's light soft sea foam, and then dark soft sea foam. I'm just going to use my little wispy marks and go over all of these little black lines in the flower. I'm just going to try to follow the lines and be quick about it as far as the strokes, and you'll see it kind of get darker in those areas. And it's not going to be like, you don't have to like really get like right on the lines. Just getting close to that, you can see how the middle of it is starting to darken up. And if you want to get it darker, just keep going more and more and more and more until you like the darkness and lightness. I think I missed a little area right there. Let me fill that in. There we go. And then I'm going to use the dark So Saffron just for the center. I don't really want it like completely dark. And I did try some of the other greens. I tried Old Olive. I tried Mossy Meadow. And I just wasn't crazy about how it looked with the soft sea foam. So I'm using like just Jade. And then I colored it once, and then I'm going back over on the lines and kind of darkening it so it's a little darker in the centers. All right. So now I have this piece that's colored. And then I also have this die cut from the, what was that again? The Painted Labels dies. It's this round one right there. And I die cut that in black. And then we're going to attach that to this side right here so that it overhangs and covers that sentiment up. And all you want to do is put a little bit on maybe that side right there. I don't know, that's probably what, 1/4 of an inch from the inside. And then fold your card and then make sure that that adhesive is where it needs to be, and it's going to attach to this piece of Designer Series paper and cardstock. So I'm just going to eyeball it like that. So now that piece is in the center, and then when you look on the back side, you don't see any adhesive. So that's the only part you want to pay attention to make sure. So if it comes out too much, it's going to stick to this card. So try it with a little, and then you can always add, but take that away. Okay. And then now I have my cut piece, and I am trying to use up the rest of these little dimensionals on the side. So let me grab these. This sheet of dimensionals is almost done. So don't forget, these little side pieces are also dimensionals. You don't want to waste those. You want to use those. Okay, and then just peel off your backings. And then we're going to put that right there. Move that away. And there is the first Z fold card. Let me do one that way and one that way. That way you can see that. What do you think? That was pretty easy, huh? And of course, depending on the color combination that you use, would depend on, you know, what color you wanted to do your flower, what base you wanted to use. You just want it to be light enough, or even if it wasn't light enough, you could always die cut something using one of the other labels and stamp it on that and put it on the inside. But I wanted to make sure that this particular die cut was going to be covering up the sentiment on the inside. Because normally we put sentiments like on the outside, but for this one I wanted to put it on the inside and cover it up with that. Look at the comments here. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. So now we're going to be doing a double Z card. And I'm going to be doing it in the opposite direction. So remember I told you there's a couple of different ways you can do your sizes of Z cards. So that's one way. Okay, now let me move this out and bring the next one in, which is this one. And I'm going to put it right there so that you can see the double. There you go, Z. It was upside down. The double Z in that. And then let me get the supplies for that one. Move that out of the way. Because I'm going to have to bring my paper trimmer back out to show you guys how to do your base for that one. Get all my pieces over here. Got everything already cut and die cut. So that is why they call it a double Z card, because you've got your base Z, and then you also have this other piece that comes up front. And I know you can't see that from that angle, but you know, you can stand up a card but you've got this piece on here. So let's do that one. So we got our paper trimmer back, and the only difference of how we're cutting it is we've got the same 8.5 by 11 sheet of basic black. We're going to cut it horizontally. Vertically. So we're going to put it in our paper trimmer, and we are going to 8.5 divided by 2 is 4 1/4. We're going to put that at 4 1/4 and cut it that way. So now we have this long piece that's 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, and so now we're going to put it back in our trimmer, and half of 11 is 5 1/2. So we're going to put it at 5 1/2, and we're going to score it. Okay, so now we have 11, and it's scored in half at 5 1/2, and then we're also going to score it at 2 3/4 as well. Okay, so now you have, let me move this out of the way because we're done with our trimmer. Okay, this way. So now we have this piece, and you fold it in half. Okay, and then now you've got this half here that's been scored in the middle. You take that piece and you fold that back. Okay, and let me get my bone folder out. We're going to burnish that. Okay, and unfortunately we're going to have to put most of this card together before I can actually do the double Z part of it. Okay, and so let's see what I did. Let's see. I also have these pieces on the side. These pieces of Sahara sand. I'm using that designer series paper, and then I also have some mats. Make sure I'm doing it on the right side. I use the subtle embossing folder. Oops, here we go again, tearing the paper. I'm trying to be gentle. I should just slow down just a little bit. Okay, let's mat these, and then I'll give you the sizes for those. Okay. So you've got your base mat here with Sahara sand, and then you have this designer series paper, which let me get you the measurements for these right here. The Sahara sand is a 2.5 by 4 inch piece. Hold on. Let me make sure here. Let me just use my measurements. My little ruler here. Okay, so this is 2.5. Your Sahara sand is 2.5 by 4. So your designer series paper is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then I'm using soft sea foam is 2 by 3.5. And let me see if you can see that. But do you see that little, it's just subtle. It's very subtle embossing that's going on here. Very subtle. So I have 1, and then we've got 2. So let me do this slow. And get this mat going here. Get that. Oh my goodness, you guys. Yesterday, I'm going to talk to you while I'm doing this. Yesterday, I went out driving around, running and doing some errands and whatnot, and I could not believe, after this horrible storm, this winter storm that we had here in Texas, I was just in awe of all of the trees and the bushes that were like brown, like dead brown, you know, there for a couple of weeks. And I had this smile on my face because all of these trees and bushes that looked like they were completely dead, they were blooming. Like crepe myrtles are starting to bloom, bushes are starting to turn green again. Now I know that get this piece here. I know that, where's my other sentiment here? We're going to use wishing you happiness on this one. But the rain, we've had a little bit of rain lately. It's humid, you guys. Oh my God, it's so humid. And I'm going to put this piece of Sahara sand. That's not the right size. I need to trim that a little bit. Uh-oh. I remember having to trim the other one the first time, so hold on. Let me trim this. This is a 5.5 piece by 4. Basically, it's like a mat if it was vertical. It's just sideways. So, but anyway, I was noticing that the flowers are blooming, trees are green. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was so happy for them. I was happy for the trees and bushes for surviving. And you just see all that beautiful growth that's coming out of them. It's just like, okay, now it's like springtime. Now it's spring. Okay, so all I did was I stamped wishing you every happiness this special day will bring, which really could be a greeting or sentiment for any occasion. You know, when you write your message, you can write happy birthday, congratulations. Okay, so now we have this piece on here. So now we're actually ready to put our double Z part to this. And I will tell you that on, I think this is the one. On your Z cards, you actually, yeah, that's the right one. You actually can put any width on the double Z part. You can use a 2-inch, I think this is 2 inches, yeah. You can use a 2-inch, although that's kind of wide. For this one, I'm using a 1-inch. So this is a 1-inch by, what is this? What is this? 1-inch by 11 strip of basic black. Okay, and then we've had it scored at, what's this one at? Well, it's going to be at the half mark. So it's scored at 5.5. And then it's also scored at, what is that one? I need to get my larger one out here. Two and 3/4. Okay, so then so this piece here, and then I also have designer series paper that I've already cut 1/4 inch smaller. And let's get some adhesive on the back of this. And I will tell you, it is so much easier to cut your adhesive to the size of each little piece there than it is to try to wrap the designer series paper in line with where the score marks are. I tried it. I got so frustrated I had to stop. I was like, stop. You're making this harder than it has to be, Barbara. Okay. And there we go. So when you put these little mats on, you just want to make sure you leave your 1/4 inch all the way around. Okay. And so now you're like, oh my goodness, where do I put adhesive? Well, first of all, what you want to do is you want to close your card. So get your card closed. You put that on there so that stays. And then this piece right here, you want to fold it. Okay. And then the place where you put adhesive is literally on the back. Whatever black you see here, that's where you put your adhesive. Okay, so let me put a couple of strips there and put a couple of strips here. Okay, and keep it closed. Now with your card, when it's closed, and you do want to make sure that you put it on the right side as well. So this long strip is the one that's going to be on top. So when you open it, it's like that. So once it's closed and you have your adhesive on the back and your card is closed, then you put this piece down directly in line with the bottom of your card. Just press it down a little bit, and then now you have your double Z. Cool, huh? And you can't see it from this angle, I don't think, but you don't have any adhesive showing on this back part, and if you did, what would happen is your card would stick. So just make sure on your, I don't have a sample one here. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. I've got a bigger one here. Just make sure that when you go to put the adhesive on, that once you fold your Z, flip it around and you put adhesive only on these pieces right here on the back. And that will guarantee you that you're not going to get adhesive on the inside and your card's not going to stick together. Okay, so now you have your double Z, and then you can decorate it from this point on. So I also cut out one of the other flowers. It's a little different. It's got a little extra flower there. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the first card. And then I'm going to show you a couple of options that you can do. I'm just going to do this really, really quickly. And don't forget, when you like, comment, and share my videos, one of you could win both of these cards next week. And I do go back and look at the comments. I'm not looking at the comments right now, so if you've joined me after I got started, thank you for joining. I am here every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I really do enjoy showing you guys how to use your Stampin' Up! Products. So if you've bought some things and you're not quite sure, you know, how to use them, or what to do with them. Some of our things can be a little tricky, but that's what demonstrators are here. We're here to show you how to use those products that you buy. And look at how they are in action. The colors, the designer series paper, all of our cardstocks. We have 50 colors in our product line right now, and I will tell you while I'm coloring all this that the 2019 to 2021 in colors, which are Pretty Peacock, sorry, I'm trying to do this at the same time. It's Pretty Peacock, Purple Posy, Terracotta Tile, I'm trying to make sure I get good coverage over here, Rococo Rose. So if you really like Rococo Rose, you will want to make sure that you stock up on any products that have those colors. So everything that I'm telling you here, oh, and also Seaside Spray, which is a warm blue, a really light blue color. So any of the products in our catalogs right now that have any of those colors, designer series paper, ribbon, any accessories, our cardstock, make this a little darker, all of those will certainly be retiring. But get this, anytime we have colors that retire, I think that's good on that one. We're always going to have 5 new fresh colors that will pop up in our product line. So that's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, is we're going to have 5 new colors that we're going to love for the next couple of years. Our in colors only stick around for a couple of years at a time. I think that's good. And now let me do the So Saffron. Just in the center. Okay, just real quick. And then I'm going to get some dimensionals on the back of that. But before we do that, let's put this piece of die cut on first. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get a little bit of adhesive on a 1/4 inch of this little piece right there. Make sure it's going to line up with where you're going. Just right there. Okay. And then let's get some of these. These are the small ones, but which have a thicker edge to them. We'll get some on there, and then we'll put one right there. I want to make sure this thing sticks. Peel those off. And then put this right here. And then on this card right here, on the die cut, on this image that I manually cut out, there was only one leaf, but I really wanted another piece to be there, so you can see that little piece that I sandwiched back in there. Let me show you what I did. This is not the same piece because I couldn't find on the designer series paper the exact piece that I could cut out without really like ruining a piece of the designer series paper. But all these little pieces in your designer series paper that look like they'll just be scraps, don't throw those away. Use those, especially the leaves. I was trying to find a die that I could use in order to put another leaf image behind there, and I couldn't come up with one. I just could not do it. And I said, you know what? Let's just use some of these parts of the designer series paper that normally we would just throw away, and I'm gonna pull what I want from this image. So all I'm doing, somebody dropped their little gaming controller upstairs, is I just cut out what I wanted, and then I'm gonna end up just, oh, we're gonna use the dark green one, just jade, coloring them. So fussy cut those out. Don't throw those away. These little leafy images you could definitely use to help complement and add some leaves here and there, wherever you want to add them. You get that middle dark there. Okay. And then what we're going to do with this is we're going to put that on with some glue dots. So let me get a glue dot. I'm going to use a couple of glue dots. I'm going to put one right here, and then I'm going to put one right here, just to help anchor. Oops, get that on there. Well, okay, so I have a glue dot there and I have a glue dot there. And then what I'm going to do is just pull this back up and kind of put that behind there. So it's got like an extra flower poking out back behind there. So I used up some scraps for that piece. And then I will tell you, this is completely optional. I didn't do it on the first card, but you can always use Wink Stella. And hopefully this one, I think this is the one, I think this is the one that threw up on me a few weeks ago. So I'm going to try not to press this one hard, because I know I have two of them laying around here, but I could only find one. But on your Wink Stella, there is a little push piece there that you want to give it a little pressure. And all this is, it's liquid glitter. I don't know if you can see that in there, but it's fine liquid glitter. And I'm just going to color, I'm going to brush this Wink Stella all over my flowers, and that's just going to give it a little bit of shine. Not much. It's really fine glitter. I think I pressed too hard on it the last time, and I'm only doing it on the flower part. And I'm going to see if you can see it on here. So I'm kind of giving it a little pressure at a time. But it's the easiest way to like put a little shine on your projects without having to actually like break out some really messy glitter. And let me see if I don't know if you can see that. I was kind of being gentle and light with it, because I didn't want it to like just bleh on my flower like it did on that butterfly a few weeks ago. But it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. And then I will tell you that that is actually the card, but this one that I did put a bow on it. So if you want, you can certainly put a bow. Let's go ahead and do a bow. I used the crinkled seam binding ribbon, and you can just do a little simple bow. oops, my little hand grip strength. This ribbon is really, what's the word? Staticky. Like it clings. It's real clingy. It's real clingy. Okay, let me just do a bow there. Cut that off. I like cutting it on the ribbon so I can actually control how much comes off. And then you can just pull your tails and adjust your ribbon however big you want your little loops to be. And then we're going to attach that on with a glue dot. Just stick it right there. And then you can always trim your tails. Let me grab that. Ugh. Okay, just trim your tails a little bit. And you can put something in the middle if you wanted to. So that is actually the same card, but I will show you something optional you can do as well. Remember I told you there's scraps on those papers? You can always, this was the edge of the paper on the designer series paper, and I was looking at that and I'm like, what could I do with that? And so what you can also do, is completely optional, is when your card is closed, you know, you see this piece right here. You can take these pieces that line up exactly with the edge of the designer series paper and use those. So for this one, I'm not going to put it down, but I'll include it with the card. So if you win this card, you can actually add it on later. Put some adhesive on the back and put it right here. Put it on that back piece right there so that when your card's closed, you see this. And then when you open it, you have this. Or you could do the other side if you wanted to do the other side. You could certainly do that. But I think I like it like that. But you can be the deciding one. So if you win this card and the other card, you know, attach it or use it on another project. Okay, so let's bring this back. Let me get this out of the way. And you've got, let's see if I can get it to where you guys can see it. The Z, the double Z, there's that one. And then let me bring this one back this way. So there you have it. What do you guys think? This is your regular card, what it looks like on the front. And then this is just a regular Z card. Simple. And then you've got this one that is your double Z card. And then that's what this looks like, the double. The double part is that piece that you put on the front that just kind of helps bring it together. Okay, thank you for the hearts. Thank you. And then that's what it looks like when it opens and closes, both of them. So like I said, it's really important to get the and I'll put the measurements. You'll have to give me a few minutes to update the supply list, but I'll post it in the comments, as well as the link to join my email list and the website link for all of my events. So I hope you guys learned something today and you like the color combo here. We were working with Sahara Sand, Basic Black, Just Jade, and Soft Seafoam, and then Whisper White. I used the Whisper White crinkled seam binding ribbon only because that designer series paper has white in it, and so that kind of offset it for me. So, but I love the colors, and remember, when you like, comment, and share, that gets you entered. So good luck for all of you that are liking and commenting and sharing. And next week I'll give these away. You know we're doing laundry here. I know y'all heard that. It's laundry day. Every Sunday is laundry day around here. But thank you for joining me, and y'all have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon. And wherever you are, I hope you are staying safe and be well. And if you want to join me Wednesday night, I'll be here Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time in order to do the next 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. So have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.